welcome to today's video. Today we have another special guest with us, Zach, and we will be talking more with him today, a little bit about some sports and having a visual impairment, and we're gonna get right into it. So let's start with Zach introducing himself and just tell us a bit about who you are, where you're from, what your condition is, and that kind of thing.
Awesome. Well, my name is Zachary Ledford, as they just mentioned, and I am currently 19 years old. I'm from the Western United States, and right now it's pretty hot, but it's whatever. My disability is a visual impairment. Specifically, I was born with congenital cataracts and glaucoma. Glaucoma is very common, but mainly for those who are older, senior citizens in other words. But cataracts is a condition that really makes your vision blurry in a way that you're looking through frosted glass, which is pretty interesting. And as glaucoma, most people may know, it damages the optic nerve, in which it is unfortunate because that optic nerve is a vital part of having good vision. But
yeah. Alrighty, so you're here to talk with us a little bit more today about playing sports and having a visual impairment. So why don't we start with what sports you're kind of into?
Awesome. Well, yeah, I have actually, throughout my whole life, I've been a part of a variety of sports. But recently I've been active in Goalball, which is a pretty cool sport. For those who may not know, Goalball is a visually impaired sport designed specifically for the visually impaired and the blind. In my eyes, I kind of think of it as a goalie on the ground in soccer and bowling kind of mix. But it's a fun sport, and y'all should look it up. But throughout my childhood,
we may have a video already on that. I don't remember. There may be. I feel like we do. But yeah, that's definitely a great way to explain it. It's like intense bowling.
Absolutely, yeah. It's intense for sure, and it's a great team building sport as well.
What other kind of involved in like?
Well, so throughout my childhood, I was growing up, and I was into soccer, basketball, and baseball. I was huge in baseball. Basketball, I didn't play for so long, just because of my vision and how contact of a sport it is, really. And then soccer, I was surprised of how long I played with it. I played indoor and outdoor soccer during the fall, throughout my grade school life, and that was pretty eventful as well.
I tried soccer for a bit, but then I established that I got hit in the face too much and that I needed to stop.
Yep. That's how it happens.
That's really how it goes. Kind of going into like, you were playing sports when you were younger, but how did you get into sports, and more specifically like goalball?
For sure. Well, first, into sports. First, my parents signed me up, so I kind of didn't have a choice. But I just always am known for a very athletic person, and I've always grown to love sports. I come from a family where we're big fans of sports. You can see us anytime, of course not now because of the whole pandemic, but we'll be watching sports with our family and friends, whether it be American football, basketball, hockey, anything really. But specifically with goalball, I got introduced to goalball around my third year of grade school and have been playing ever since. And now that I think of it, that's a long time. And I was just introduced. I was asked to come to a practice one day and just try it out. And it was pretty eventful. I was so confused of what was going on. And obviously, as a child, you might think, what the heck are these blindfolds for? And it was just an awesome experience to be a part of it. And I had the opportunity to participate in I guess you could call a high school team for my state in the U.S. And we were able to travel the country and play all sorts of different teams.
You had mentioned like when you started that it was the third year of grade school, and I forget that like Canada and US do it like differently, and I was like, when was that?
Right?
My brain was like third year grade. I was like, I don't know when that is.
So that's around like for most people in the US really, that's around the ages of 8 and 9, I would believe, between 7 and 9,
Like
pretty much. So
grade 3? Yeah. Okay. That's pretty early. I was like, I don't know what you would call it, but I was like grade 5. So probably, I guess maybe around the same age actually. Maybe a little bit older. We'll say like 10.
there you go. There you go.
How did having a visual impairment affect you in playing different sports?
That's actually a really good question. And this topic, that kind of question gets a little touchy for me at times because it's talking about like what happens when you play sports and you have a disability.
Yeah.
For me, it was, and for most people, maybe, I don't think people actually look at this way, but I looked at it as a learning experience for myself because it mainly, my visual impairment influenced me to try different sports, and especially with goalball and other sports, swimming, skiing, that were involved with the visual impairment category. And it helped influence me to know that I can do things despite of my vision loss.
Mm-hmm.
There was a baseball experience I actually had playing baseball when I was younger. When I started losing my vision the most, it was my last year of playing baseball due to my vision. And it was the second to last game, I remember. We were playing on the road, or in a different city in that case, and there was a big storm coming. It was dark and cloudy and whatnot. And normally I would play on the infield, pitcher, shortstop, all those good positions. But I showed up that day, in that stormy day, and my coach said, let's try something different. And I was totally up for it because I like trying new things.
Yeah.
And they put me in the outfield. You don't want to do that to a blind guy.
No.
And what made matters worse is knowing that my vision was getting worse at that time was that the wind was so strong that it was blowing the dirt into the outfield and made a dust storm. And
Yeah.
there was an experience where, as I was playing in the outfield, a ball came flying over our heads and whatnot, and I went for the catch and completely missed it. I felt terrified, and I also felt really bad for missing that. But having an impact,
Definitely like understand what that kind of like feels like.
absolutely, and definitely an impact with visually impaired individuals for myself as well. It's a learning experience, and
Mm-hmm.
it's also just such a great opportunity to show others that we can do something despite our disabilities.
Mm-hmm. During these kind of times that you were like trying sports and like all this, was there ever a time where you felt like not included or like that you couldn't participate in these sports?
Absolutely. One big sport that I didn't feel included whatsoever was basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I didn't belong or fit into that for many different reasons. I was born without any peripheral vision, which is no sight vision on the sides of your body or whatnot. And as you might imagine, it was terribly hard to follow the basketball as it was zooming past you across the court and trying to keep up with everyone. And it was also at times where, because of my disability, there happened to be teammates that I was playing with that went to their parents and coaches and said, why am I playing with this person? They can't even see to play basketball.
Yeah.
And it just felt like it was another great learning experience to stand up for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had that long talk with that coach and said, you know what, I'm not going to play basketball anymore. I'm not playing with these people who don't care about playing with someone with a disability.
Did that kind of start a conversation about like how to maybe adapt these sports that you're like, I just don't feel like I kind of fit in this environment, and like maybe like changing something?
Pretty much, yeah. That's also probably around the time I found goalball, was because I was like, this sport is not who I really want to be and like want to fit into, because it's just super fast-paced game and all over the place. Even in watching it on TV, it's terrible. But it was definitely a great change of pace to find that experience and learn that I need to try a different sport.
So, as you grew up playing these different sports and having to adapt to them, what kind of support system did you have through learning different ways to play these sports?
Yeah, like family and friends sort of thing.
Right. And that support, it was incredibly overwhelming amount of love and support.
Aw.
Um, my family and friends supported me so much. And I'm the oldest in my family. And so I kind of was like the first to try all these sports and kind of led by example. But my family would always cheer me on during these sports all throughout my life. And then when I was in soccer and starting goalball and whatnot, I had friends come on the sidelines and cheer me on as I played with my brother. During soccer when we were younger. And a moment I remember, it was my first year playing on the high school goalball team. And we were in Florida for the youth national championships. And we were up by pretty good lead. So the coach put me in as a rookie just to get a feel for playing against these really good players. And my mom, after the game, we had won and I scored a couple goals. And I got a text from my family, and also on social media they were literally screaming through the TV cheering for me, and it was just a great amount of love and support from them.
I think that's such an important thing, especially like growing up, like when you do want to try these different sports. I think we've brought this up before, like not being like a bubble child. Like it's something that's so important for especially kids with any disability, like having parents who support them in anything that they want to try and be like not a bubble child, not being like you can't do this because you're visually impaired or like you're gonna get hurt, but just kind of like letting them go out there and do it. And
Absolutely.
that was kind of definitely the thing for us, is that we're like, we just did anything we wanted to. I don't even really care about the consequences.
And I think as well, it's like pretty cool to think like even in movies or in real life, you see parents when they know their child has a disability or anything, and they're like, "Mom, I want to try this sport." Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So what kind of advice would you give to somebody who is maybe in the same situation and who is looking to get into sports or kind of anything along those lines?
For sure. Most people, I attest and go what they say. Do it. Try it. Don't be afraid to do it. At the start, go at your own pace, as you learn from other people and those you look up to in sports and whatnot. And work hard, but don't give up most of all. But like I said, don't be shy. Just try it. Goalball was the only sport I tried out in high school, and I definitely regret it. And if I were to go back, I would definitely try more sports throughout high school. And a great example of trying new sports is last summer, I was invited and privileged to go to Colorado Springs at the Paralympic and Olympic Training Center. And we had a Paralympic hopeful camp out there where we tried a bunch of different sports: track and field, goalball, swimming, triathlon, skiing, all sorts of sports. And we got to work out with some incredible athletes who helped teach us and help us get in the mindset of not giving up and just trying different sports.
That's so cool. That kind of leads into the next question of like, do you think sports is something that you're going to pursue in the future, or kind of, yeah?
For sure. I am a Paralympic hopeful. I think it's awesome. I've been a fan and a fanatic of the Olympics and the Paralympics for like 5 years now. And you could even ask my family. I will not stop talking about it. I'm always watching short clips about swimming or any other sport. But right now, since this pandemic, I've been able to go outside and get into the habit of trying to know what I can get to, because I'm trying to get into track and field. So that way I have that mindset other than goalball. And I've also considered being in a state where we have really great ski resorts. I've been in the mindset of trying out for skiing as well. And 2030, my home city is in the, what's the word? I guess you could say in the prospects of trying to host the 2030 Olympics and Paralympics. And that'd be awesome to just compete.
Maybe we'll meet at the Paralympics one day.
Oh yeah. But yeah, definitely. I really hope and look forward to pursuing sports.
I've never been somebody who could get into track and field, so I really respect anybody who can. like, I'm not a runner. I'm not about to jump 4 feet. Like, it's just not something that happens for me.
I feel you. Like I was watching the World Championships last year, and I was like, that looks fun, but it also looks terribly hard.
But like,
Go ahead.
no, I was just like, but like, no, not for me.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But like I found a love for it for some reason, and I've gotten a lot of tips and advice from other people, and I'm excited to try track and field and see where it goes.
That's awesome.
So a little bit of going off topic from sports, what do you think that you'd like to pursue as a career?
Well, I mean, I'm going to take it right back onto sports because that's the mindset of my career. Right now, I am technically taking a gap year from high school because I am serving a mission for my church. But I look forward to, I am looking into going to school, starting college in the spring. And the mindset right now, I've had so many career ideas, but the mindset right now is to study and get a degree in human movement science and hopefully become an athletic trainer.
I love that. For me, that was something that I was considering at one point, and then I was like, I like children way more, so I went for ECE. Like, it definitely was something that I like was. There was a point in my life where like I was like, ooh, I could like work in athletics. Right. I was like, maybe I won't become like famous in athletics, but I can work in athletics. And then, yeah.
You can still be famous working in athletics because you're the one helping the celebrities get their game on. The only thing I want to say really is just don't let people tell you no. There are going to be people, whether you have a disability or not, that are going to tell you you can't do that. Even if you try a little bit of that sport or anything in general, don't let them change your mind. Be your own self.
I love it. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us today. It was a lot of fun. I think we all got a lot out of it, whether it be the motivational aspect or the learning aspect. It was awesome. Hope everybody comes back next week for more great content. Maybe some more interviews. But thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you next week.